Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, how are you doing? Welcome to this week's tarot card reading. Welcome. Tarot card puppy Benjo says welcome too. He's in the middle of eating his treat. I wanted to get a video of him eating his treat since I'm always talking about him in these videos, but he didn't want a video. So anyway, how's it going? Happy Saturday, but whenever you want to watch this video, happy whatever day that is. Obviously, it's your choice. But nonetheless, welcome. Happy Saturday. It's around 3 p.m. here in San Antonio, Texas. Got the afternoon sunlight, and I actually got like the afternoon. It's quiet in this house. This is Saturday afternoon, so there shouldn't be too many disturbances. Anyway, I said, why not make this video on Saturday? I don't really want to compete with Super Bowl Sunday, which is tomorrow. I've got a Bath and Body Works candle going. It's been lit a while. Chai. Got the Crow Tarot. So if you wanted to mix up, if you're a little tired of the Dragon Tarot, here's the Crow Tarot. We're going to do it today. I got these new earrings my sister got me. Well, I say new earrings because I haven't really worn them. But my sister got them for me, I don't know when. My sister gave me. They're like koi fish or betta fish. Kind of dainty, kind of paper-like. And my new favorite shirt. I wore this last week, but that's okay, right? Anyway, how's it going? Happy February, happy Saturday. Anything new going on in your lives that you'd like to discuss and chat? Get a tarot card reading of? Well, hopefully we'll address that today. Video. Okay. 2.5 minutes. What do I usually talk about? Anyway. I got my coffee here. My country coffee tin, Maxwell Coffee House coffee. I've been drinking all day. Anyway. Anything new? Nothing new? Okay, that's good. If you can't tell, I got a little bit new setup over here. Not much, but a little bit. My swordfish is on this side of the desk instead of on this side. So, it's glass. In case you're wondering. So what tarot do I want to do today? It's tarot spread. I'm thinking of Crow Tarot since we have so much time. Usually it's about 10-15 minutes before I get started with the tarot readings. Not so very chit-chatty. Your tarot vibes today. Guess I'm going to have to rely solely on the cards. So Crow Tarot spread it is? Okay, good. Over here. I haven't done the Crow Tarot in a while, so, there's a book. You'll see me reference it, obviously. I haven't done the Crow Tarot spread in a while, so I'll probably reference the book a lot. We'll see. We'll see how well I remember all of that. Anyway, I guess we'll get started. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss? No? Okay. It is 5 minutes, and it takes Banjo less than 5 minutes to eat his treat. You know what I just thought of? I think they have the NFL on YouTube now, these days. And I'm wondering, like, what the advertisements are like. I know it doesn't really have anything to do with tarot, but I'm just bringing up the discussion. Maybe I should have waited for my morning chit-chats instead of my tarot. But I just thought of it just now. If you're going to watch the Super Bowl on YouTube, you're not going to see the commercials. You're going to get different commercials, or what? Is the NFL going to make a YouTube video of just the commercials? The NFL YouTube channel. If they have one, I'm not too sure. I'm just wondering, just bringing up a discussion. You're here for the tarot. I don't know. What is your prediction? Okay, one more shuffle, and I guess we can go ahead and get started. Let's see where this goes. Do you want to cut the deck? Okay, I'll cut it for you. Okay. Okay, Benjo, you want a card? Benjo gets the Ace of Wands. And I'm sure it can apply to your, not just Benjo, but to all to your pets. Oh, Benjo? Let's see what his habits are in the afternoon for the tarot card readings. Anyway, Ace of Wands, this is great new beginnings. Ace upright. Really can't get any better than that. We've got some gray clouds that turn to feathers, and I guess they're daffodils. The city in the background, so a lot of possibility. It kind of reminds me of with the city in the background, the pentacle suit. So I think that's interesting. Usually the pentacle suit here in the Crow Tarot, I kind of consider and like not just the luck of the draw when you're in the realm of the suit of pentacles in the Crow Tarot. This is something that you've kind of worked your way up the ladder and stuff like that. But here it is, the Ace of Wands, and you have the cityscape background. So, yeah, new beginnings, a fresh start, fresh energy to project, task, and all that good stuff. Benji, you got a very good card today. Okay. So y'all know why I like the Crow Tarot spread. I say it like every time that we do the Crow Tarot, but I really like it because it's focused and centered around heart energy, and then it kind of like spirals out from there. Did y'all ever do that MASH stuff when y'all were younger? Like on the paper, you do like, what is it? Mansion, apartment, shack, or house. And then you just make a list of all of these things, and you have like 3 choices, or you have like 3 choices, and the person who's writing it down writes a choice in for you. Pedro, no sir. Did y'all ever do that? Do you? Anyway, well, if you did, then yeah, you probably see where I'm going with this. you start to do a spiral, or the person writing everything down does a spiral, and then the person who's filled out the stuff, it tells them when to stop, and then you count how many lines there are, and then that's how many times you count, and then you cross out, and then you see what you're left with. Sometimes you're left with all the choices the other person chose for you, or sometimes you're left with the stuff that you chose. Like, what pets are you going to have? And then you say your 3 different pets, and then the person says what kind of pet you're going to have. Anyway, that's kind of why I like this Crow Tarot spread. It centers around the heart, and then it spirals out from there, which I think, as a tarot card reader, I think is a very interesting and fun spread to do. How about you? Where's all your toys? Gonna have to distract them with toys. 1 second. Okay, the distracting him didn't work very well. All right. So, let's go ahead and get started. What's the heart energy this week, Banjo? The Tower. This is very interesting for our heart energy. I think for our the Crow Tarot spread, as opposed to the Horseshoe or the Cat Stretch spread or the 5-card spread, the Crow spread is the heart energy is something that's permanent about your heart energy, or it is something that's temporary, in the sense that it's taken a hold of your heart energy, which we would assume would be kind of a negative thing. And again, this week, I'm having a hard time just telling you right off the bat if this is our heart energy permanently, or if this is something that is temporary. This Tower card is very interesting. I think it's the fire element. It is a major arcana card. And as you see, this building is getting struck by lightning, and all the crows have to flee. So, I like the idea of this card. I think this card represents kind of something beyond our control. And also it represents a bit of this kind of transformation, something that's going to change your life in a major way, and quickly. So this is a really interesting heart energy card, I would have to say, especially upright. I would say this might be a permanent heart energy. As for this being a permanent heart energy, I think it's very interesting to get the Tower card as your permanent heart energy. I think it's really interesting as far as getting the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands was the first card that we saw. Yeah, the Tower is fire. Sometimes there's a bit of negativity associated with this Tower card. But again, it's a heart energy. It's the first card that we see. Like I said, I'm having a hard time seeing the negatives of this card. The reason I would say it might be a energy that is temporary, temporarily got a hold of our heart energy, is because how quick things can change as far as the meaning of the Tower card. But other than that, I'm inclined to say it's probably a permanent heart energy type vibe, which is very interesting. So let's go ahead and see what else is we got going on. A present is a platform for the future is the Nine of Wands. Upright, very pleasant. We are worked hard towards a task and goal, and we're almost there. This little crow's got 8 wands and is up as a fence, and gonna get this 9th wand up to complete the fence. So we're close to completing a task. Again, another fire energy. We have actionness, spirituality, travel, ideas. So we just have a lot of motivation so far. Motivation being something that we like to do, whether it's work oriented or it might be something else other than work oriented, considering it is fire. Um, it could fire, I think, has a lot of as far as this card, the Nine of Wands, I would say it might be a work oriented situation, but as far as fire in general, I'd say fire has a lot of uh, uh, overlap with air and water, which is the logic, intellect, and relationships and feelings and stuff. Um, so anyway, we have a lot of motivation either with our work or maybe with a bit of overlap with the other two elements. And then a lot of motivation with this Major Arcana deck Tower card. You're very used to change, which is very good. I would, I can't. I'm having a hard time seeing what's wrong with that. You're very much not a person who has to have everything under control and can absolutely not work under any other circumstance. You're very used to having a lot of random and spontaneous variables and situations and proceeding from there. I would say so much so that you're probably a bit spiritual about what the universe brings to you as far as your heart energy. So I would say so far so good. Everything's going up well. Let's see what's helping us or holding us back. You. The Knight of Wands. A free spirit, willing to enter into any a task, obligation, opportunity very quickly, but never reckless. Very quick and but also thought out. This fire energy that represents kind of the as far as the fire overlapping with air, water, or even the earth element. I would say this fire kind of distinguishes itself by being that spark that you have before you have the idea, right? You have an idea, which is like a light bulb or something, or you have a feeling and then reaction. The fire element is like before that. I guess kind of like gathering all of the required elements or something like that. How about you? But anyway, the Knight of Wands really represents that aspect of fire. So obviously this Knight of Wands is going to be something that helps us. Is definitely not going to hold us back in any way, shape, or form. So far with our tarot card reading, we have a very positive, very a lot of not only inertia but this momentum going on with the our reading to this week. We're gonna have a lot of forward movement, and we're gonna like, as far as inertia, we're gonna have feel like there's a lot to back us up with all of our forward movement. So let's see what our hopes and fears are. The reverse to Six of Wands. This is very interesting. I'm inclined to say that this is a fear. This upright Six of Wands is an extremely positive card. And continuing on with the wand and fire theme. Reversed, this card is the opposite meaning of the upright. Reversed, this card represents a leader who is blaming others, not taking responsibility for anything, and not really contributing anything, and is probably mismanaging all these other crows here. Since we have so much fire here, I'm inclined to kind of just take it as the meaning of the card is and say this is probably our fear. And I think is again not so surprising considering our heart energy is the Tower card. The Tower card is also associated with the fear response associated with change, right? You have this lightning and the building collapsing, and there's the fear there. So this Head of the Crow being the fear card, I think is appropriate. I think is quite nice of us, you, to be worried that you might be not respectful of others. um, and as far as all of this fire element is concerned, um, I would say that I would say that I was going somewhere with that, but I'll pause to myself. Yeah, I would just say that it's not surprising, and I would say probably very kind to have that as your fear. And kind of as far as all of these cards, this seems like very productive as far as inertia and movement and momentum and forward movement. So I think it's kind of you've got kind of a quirky energy about you because you have this reversed Six of Wands here. Um, what is your fear, and you say it. I think is very interesting and very much a fire theme. So let's see what our grounding energy is. This Six of Swords upright. This is very interesting, especially considering we were just talking about the fire element. Here we have the air element associated with the frozen water. So this overlapping of uh, uh, spirituality, ideas, innovation, kind of overlapping with the water element and the air element here in our grounding energy, which I think is really interesting. Um, uh, uh, there's a lot of hard work going on in this crow spread. This Six of Swords represents taking a journey, and there's sacrifices being made because of these. That's what these little feathers mean right here in the corner. Um, so that's really interesting. And as far as this, again, this Tower card being the heart energy, I would I'm leaning a lot towards this is like a permanent heart energy, not a temporary heart energy. And I think this is really well balanced with this Six of Swords here and this Six of Wands here. And you got a bit of the cherry blossoms too. So this understanding that when I say balance, I guess I mean a lot of understanding of uh, 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 sacrifice. You probably don't see things as a chore or a waste of time. You probably see things very differently than that kind of mindset. And as far as the cherry blossoms, there's with the sacrifice, I think there's some kind of a delicateness to this very kind of frozen water and the sacrifice of the feathers type vibe going on. Sacrifice to cut your losses. And I think this is a very appropriate with fire. Um, so if and I think that's really interesting with your grounding energy. You're got a lot of momentum and the second guessing, I think, is not really something that might be helpful, especially if you're in a leadership position or something like that. I think as far as cutting your losses and stuff like that, it seems maybe you have made space for that, maybe in a meditative way, be just being present. Present as a platform for the future. This Nine of Wands here, I think probably has a lot of kind of cutting your losses and going forward type of energy there. Um, so very interesting spread for us this week. Um, Interesting, unique. I think a very unique spread. I think these cards make sense together, and I think I would say atypical, right? It's not kind of your typical, you can guess what comes next type of situation. So let's hear past. The Page of Pentacles reversed. Now herein lies our problem. This a week, y'all know me as your tarot card reader. I don't like the pages. I don't like any of them, and I especially don't like the Page of Pentacles, and especially don't like reverse. However, um, when this Page of Pentacles is reversed, this kind of seems a bit unpleasant for the Page of Pentacles. And if something is unpleasant for the Page of Pentacles, I would say it's probably not such a bad thing overall. I think the Page of Pentacles represents, well, all the pages represent this lack of taking responsibility, the complete opposite of this Head of the Crow here. This Page of Pentacles is in our past, and I think that's very interesting, especially considering our grounding energy this week. So as far as our past is concerned, this energy of taking a credit and not having to or being allowed to make a lot of mistakes for whatever reason, never any good reasons, but never facing any consequences to those mistakes and failures is something that's in our past. And I think that's very interesting considering the cards we have today. I think this past is a very interesting issue. We have a really great a spiral spread here, and we get this kind of outlier about the past. I would say this is our first adversarial card. This past is our opponent. So whenever this reverse Page of Swords, it's in our past. So that's a positive. And but nonetheless, we don't want this Page of Swords just to a blanket statement represent our past, but this hard energy in our focus on this cards here, the center of our spiral is really, really pleasant. So if we're delegated with the task of what is it called? Maybe helping others, maybe kind of what is paying it forward, benevolent. I'm trying to think of a word and it's can't get it. But I think maybe we're very strong and we're very grounded, and we have a lot of fire energy, which again is spirituality, action, and something and stuff like that, which is the complete opposite of this Page of Cups. This Page of Cups is just a visionary, so they call themselves. They just sit there and look at this pentacle and this lush garden, and they don't do much. So they want to reap all the rewards of a pleasant environment and stature, without having to actually bring anything to the table. So as far as past is concerned, I would be wondering if this is your past specifically, or maybe this is just something about society. I wouldn't be surprised it being a page. This kind of is maybe just a societal issue as a whole. But I would say that this seeing this card, that maybe it's might be a task or duty of ours to address this reversed Page of Pentacles in the past. So let's see our external openings and uninvited energy. The Ten of Swords. I love this card. I like the colors, the navy. It reminds me of like the a deep ocean. This one might be our swordfish card. I don't know. The colors are just pleasant, and I like the swords in the back. I think these swords as your tarot card reader, I differ a little bit with the creator of this deck as far as the meaning of this card. But I like the 10, and I like how it's we have this sixes, and then we have this 9 of wands here, which is very pleasant card. And then so we have this 10 of swords, which I think represents and not being upright. It represents being trust and loyalty bonds are broken. This whoever your community or your friends were, they've kind of stabbed you in the back. I completely disagree as your tarot card reader. I think these swords represent intellect and wisdom and knowledge and thought. And the spine is a very important symbolically. So I think this Ten of Swords is a very pleasant card to get, especially upright. As a tarot card reader, might have a bit of a different meaning if it was reversed, and depending on the cards, obviously. But I think this uninvited and external openings is very positive. I would like to say, like, one person has one sword, but here this one crow has 10, and so people have given or other crows have given this crow their sword, not because they want to be backstabbers, but because they want to elevate themselves intellectually, logically, talk about reason and all of that. So yeah, I think this is a very positive card. And I would say a perfect match to deal with whatever is this reversed Page of Pentacles in the past. If somebody was looking towards this Page of Pentacles in the past, or maybe society, I think this Ten of Swords here is going to be a bringer of truth, a bringer of substance, a kind of a deeper level thinking and stuff like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and so I would say continuing on with our theme of balance and kind of unbalance as far as the elements, and also understanding and kind of your spirituality of the universe and how the universe works. I would say that continues with our wings of the crow here. So let's see our future. The Four of Swords reverse. This is very interesting. We get a reverse card. I'm wondering if this has to deal with the Page of Pentacles in our past. Our past and our future might be, what do you call it, entangled. And as far as ours, I'm not too sure. We have this wonderful heart energy card of the Tower. I'm really liking this. The more we get through the spread, I'm really liking this heart energy of the Tower card. Our only major arcana deck card in our reading this week. But anyway, we have the Four of Swords, which usually upright means a very meditative. This crow is not dead. He's just in a very kind of peaceful, relaxed, meditative type state. It being the air element, so there's not a lot of emotion or I guess maybe question or lack of connection that may go with the fire element. Um, oh, we do have this reverse to Six of Wands. I forgot our fears. Let me look at what this card means reverse. 1 second. Well, this is interesting. This future is might denote to somebody who instead of being this crow kind of in a very relaxed state that kind of resembles, I guess, if you wanted the corpse pose in yoga, where you're just kind of laying there on your back at the end of practice. Reversed is kind of the opposite. Reversed is kind of uneasy or unable to sit still, which I think is interesting. And I guess that's where our past and our future are kind of, I hate to say intertwined, because that makes it kind of sound kind of positive. This past card and this future card, as your tarot card reader, I think is a little bit kind of negative, might be our adversary this week. So this inability to sit still, I would say, is probably the reversed Page of Pentacles observing our body of the crow here and misjudging it completely. This inability to sit still, I think, if you were to say that about fire, especially with this heart energy being the Tower upright, I would say there's a lot of misjudgment, miscalculation, it being an air element, something to do with intellect, logic, and reasoning, debate. There's probably been a lack of debate going on. So as far as this future card and as far as this past card, I think it's very interesting considering this theme of fire and inertia and momentum and always moving forward. I think it's very interesting. This past and future card this week are kind of entangled and not so pleasant. The viewpoint of maybe what others, especially we don't even care about their opinion, are they're here present in the past and the future. But that being said, there's so much fire here, and there's so much which is a spirituality and action. It seems like this as far as maneuverability, it's this fire is probably moving way past this reverse Page of Pentacles and reversed Four of Swords here. They seem kind of like very small kind of influences or effects compared to the body of the crow. So yeah, very positive spread. I guess I'll show you all the cards and then start the drawing in part 2. And as far as the fear is concerned, I would say